Oh, Andrea Tessmann.
Yes, Kirk Buchner.
If you're gonna do a song or look back at a song by Bread, don't we need a Brad?
We do, yes. If nothing else than for the bread puns.
Well, absolutely. And thankfully, Brad is here to rise to the occasion. That was your pun. You sent that off to me.
I've got a wry sense of humor that I'm going to try to bring to this.
Oh, love this. And it's a returning guest. It's Brad Nelson. He was there with us on our 1 year extravaganza when How the Hell Did This Go #1 looked at We Are the World. I mean, we knew the answer to that one right away because pretty much you had to. Otherwise, you were an asshole, apparently, in 1985. And some of you might think that we're assholes here based on the love of bread, the band, not the actual edible consumption. Before we went live, Brad, not Bread, was mentioning comments on this particular song. And I thought, let's just sort of get some shit out of the way. There's some very positive comments on this from people, and this is a thread that we've seen where it takes you back to all these great memories that you had. And if you're listening and you came here and you say, well, you know, I love this. I remember when I used to date this guy or this girl in high school, da 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 da. That's great. That's fantastic. This song still sucks.
I'm not going to say that it sucks. I will say this, though, because I went and I listened to it about 2-3 times throughout today, trying to find something redeemable about it. And the only thing I could come up with was the fact it's like having sex with your partner slowly in missionary position with a lot of eye contact. It's nice, it's good, it's boring.
No, I've never done that. I've always had the lights off.
I found that look better with the lights off too.
So this song is like the epitome of I don't understand how you can take a song about sex
And make it sexless?
So sexless.
But we've done this though, right? I almost feel like lather, rinse, repeat.
Rockets at night.
Yes.
Afternoon delight.
Or Captain and Tennille. This is very much like that, but this was started off the decade. Bread, this was their first hit. They had a lot of hits, but I remember none of this. Just putting this in historical context. So I was born in 72. I remember a lot of the stuff that we covered before when we talked about Afternoon Delight, because that came out in 77. And I remember that played over and over and over. I don't remember Bread played at all. First time I ever even heard of this band is, I don't even remember who it was, but I thought it was my brother. I asked him today, it wasn't. Somebody had a cassette. It was the best of Bread, and it just made me laugh. Like,
what is it, 2 songs?
They had a lot of hits.
You know, because when you had mentioned you guys were doing Bread, I had said, oh, you're doing If.
That's the only one
Andrea said, no, If didn't ever make it a #1.
No, yeah.
You wouldn't make it with you. So I went, after you left that day, I went and I looked up Make It With You, and I'm like, there's something that twigs in there that I might have heard that, because the only Bread song I ever knew was If. But I mean, that when you get a song that's supposed to be, like you were saying before, like it's supposed to be this romantic, you know, getting down in white sheets with the wind blowing the curtains in and what have you, and you get that sound, and it's so, like, you could walk through the grocery store and hear this song going. You know, you're not going to get that with a really sexy song. Like the Divinals, I Touch Myself is never going to come on when I'm picking up canned goods.
Well, maybe you're going to the wrong grocery store.
Apparently I am.
Yeah, no subtlety in that one. She just died, by the way.
She did?
Yeah.
When was this?
A year ago, I think.
Oh, geez. I don't know if I heard about that.
Yeah. I don't even know if, but this group, the 70s.
Do you know how they got their name?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, please tell it.
They literally were just like looking at objects. It was like rock, sign, car, bread truck, bread. Let's go with the most white, boring, beige,
But
To be
Like-
fair,
spiceless name,
indirectly, this became the most appropriate band name in history.
right? To be fair.
To be fair. No, the idea with that was they also had said that they were looking at B names because of the Beatles and the Bee Gees and stuff they were drawing their influence from, and they thought maybe that B names would be a little more marketable because they did work.
Draw a lot more influence from the Beatles and the Bee Gees.
The lead singer did wind up working with one of the big session bands out of LA.
We worked a lot with Leon Russell too, which
Yeah,
makes no sense that these two were together. But hey, I think what oh, sorry, go ahead, Andrea.
I was just gonna say, I think musically these guys had some talent.
Sure.
They just, the song itself, the musicality behind it is fine.
Mhm.
It's just fucking boring.
I
Literally.
think what throws me off a lot is I remember, again, when I'm back in high school and college, and then like all these young people trying to get into bands. And I'm trying to picture, okay, 1969, 68, this group of four people, we're going to be in a band. Yeah, this is what you come up with. It just doesn't seem like something for early 20-somethings are going to come up with.
In their defense on this one, I was reading a little something about this. Now we're mid-Vietnam at this point in time when this sound is popular. And if you look at when Bread is releasing these songs, there's a lot of soft rock, soothing melodies coming out there. There's a lot of, the Carpenters were big at this point in time.
True.
And don't get me wrong, the Carpenters are fantastic. I have nothing ill to say about them. I've got some nasty off-color jokes, but I have nothing ill to say about the band itself.
Well, of course, if she would have ate some bread, maybe she'd still be with us.
That was the problem. She did. But anyway, the idea was, though, we're in the middle of turmoil and strife and what have you, and music is often the reflection of what society is going through at the time. Look at when punk was big. Look at when bubblegum pop was big. There's two different things going on in the world at that point in time, and the music was the panacea of that age. So with Bread coming out, with being mid-Vietnam, with having soldiers returning and people going off to war and what have you, the rise of soft rock isn't surprising.
Although it's also the same year, though, where, and that's another song you might look at one time, Edwin Starr, War, same year. So, you've got your topical, and to your point, Brad, you've got your escapism.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
And there is a lot of this in the early 70s, this like boring sex music. Like the 60s, they had to talk about sex in discreet, subtle ways that weren't so subtle. In the 70s, suddenly every white bread, like middle-class family is humming along to Afternoon Delight and all these, like, it's just not, it doesn't make any sense. There's suddenly this like openness talking about not even trying to disguise it. This is not what I would want to be listening to when I'm practicing putting a bun in the oven.
Practicing putting a bun in the oven.
Come on.
So
bread buns.
on
Oh,
this,
sorry.
on this idea here, just to your point, Andrea, about people having to disguise a sex song inside of something innocent sounding, what would you guys say would be the number one hidden sex song?
Hidden sex song?
Yeah, where you listened to it 4 or 5 times before you went, oh, that's what they're talking about.
I said, I think to Andrea last week, I don't know if that was on camera or off, like just ZZ Top Eliminator. We were talking about that. I just figured out what I Got the Six meant. Pearl necklace. I didn't get it. I didn't know what that meant until I was an adult. I had no idea. She wore a pearl. Okay, I guess she had a pearl necklace. I didn't know.
Yeah, she's classy lady with that pearl necklace.
Yeah, there's a lot that I don't know, like almost so many songs are pretty much driven by love and sex when it comes down to it, right? I don't know. Did you have one in mind, Brad, or was that just like
I've got my all-time I didn't get it sex song for a while there. Extreme, More Than Words.
okay?
I don't know that that's
Isn't
entirely
that
sex.
a relationship thing, or was
He
that?
is absolutely begging for it. You know how easy it would be just for you to let me know. You know, more than words is all I ever wanted, and what have you. So you can say, "I love you," all that stuff. He's begging for her to get.
No,
it.
I'm gonna throw this back to love languages. He's saying that there's other things, like maybe he likes acts of service. He doesn't need to hear that I love you all the time. He just would really like to receive a gift once in a while. Or
Yeah, you know what gift
That's
he
a different
wants.
number one, because that did go number one. Although, since we're here, I can't believe Eddie Van Halen heard this and said, you know, I think he could replace Sammy Hagar one day.
Well, okay, come on. Like Yoko Ono could replace Sammy Hagar, and it would be better than Sammy Hagar.
No,
I have strong opinions
Brad has
about
very
Van
strong
Hagar.
opinions about Sammy Hagar.
Van Hagar sucked. Van Hagar didn't exist. Van Hagar is the musical equivalent of Highlander 2, and we don't talk about it.
Sammy Hagar only sucks because of David Lee Roth was so awesome in that role.
Absolutely.
I'll say this. Okay. All right. Since we're here, let's just deviate. I don't give a shit. All right. Who would you rather party with? Seriously, because David Lee Roth or Sammy Hagar. And for me, it's Sammy, not because I think Sammy, I agree with you. Van Halen, Van Hagar, as you call it. I don't listen to that, but Sammy seems like a pretty damn cool dude. David Lee Roth seems like the guy who's going to annoy the fuck out of you after 20 minutes. And I just got to get away from him.
Okay, now this is where I will disagree with you on this one here. Only for the fact is, the only reason to party with a rock star is to party like a rock star. And also the big thing is, who's going to have the better story? Because at the end of the night, Hagar is going to be crying into his drink about how much he misses his ex. And David Lee Roth is going to be looking for the next stripper butt to snort cocaine off of.
Okay. I think maybe I'm answering this as someone who's going to be 50 next year. 10 years ago, I would have had a different answer. So
dude, I'm 48.
All right.
So I just want to watch what happens.
Okay.
When
I also have this, which changes everything.
Oh, I've had two of those. That's fine.
Yeah, this is my sec. This is my sec. To my first wife, if you're listening, to what I always say, fuck you. Anyway, ain't no song about you other than the bitches.
I used to love her. Oh yeah, but I had to kill her.
Yeah,
that's the one.
Thank you. Yes.
Do I need to like rein y'all back in here?
Yeah, you do.
Okay,
I thought you were our anchor.
I'm going to go back to Brad's question, and I'm going to say "Little Red Corvette" is the song I didn't play.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Pocket of horses.
Some of them are Trojans, or some of them are something like that.
Took me to the place where her horses ran wild.
Oh man, I wish that went number one. I love that song.
Damn fine song. That one and Raspberry Beret, two of my favorite Prince songs.
Do we? Okay, so with Brett, here, look at me, bringing everything back. Brett, I will say, I can see why this song, if you fell in love with your significant other, and this song was the soundtrack of that, I get completely why this holds a lot to you. I totally do. It's soothing. It's not exactly subtle lyrically, if we really look at it. It's works in other levels. Well, lyrically, I mean, like the guy's just met the person. Let's just be blunt here. So like he barely knows that person. He just wants this. He's trying to get laid. I don't know that this guy's got a whole lot of game, but maybe he didn't have to in 1970. I don't know. I don't have any frame of reference of anyone who was trying to get laid in 1970.
No,
I don't.
I wasn't
No.
born, so I couldn't tell you.
Well, even
No.
the people I know who were of that, you know, like they weren't. I have to agree with it. Going back to what you said, Andrea, I mean, like this, I don't see how this is a song where, or was it you or Brad who said that? I don't know that this is a song you fuck to.
Oh, it is, but slow, missionary, in white sheets, with somebody you're married to.
It takes all of the excitement and interest out of sex.
No, this is the song that you make a baby to. This is
It's a song you
utilities.
put a bun in the oven to.
Exactly. You know, this isn't exciting sex. This isn't new, amazing. This is great fun. This is, honey, I'm ovulating sex.
You know, I knew he was gonna elicit the biggest laugh of the night. I just didn't know how.
Neither did I.
Oh, yeah. Honey, I'm ovulating sex. That's awesome. I don't know how I'm going to use that again in the conversation, but I'm going to.
Talk about bread with somebody.
But that's the other thing too. I mean, for a group that had quite a few hits, they're virtually non-existent. They're not in the canon of anything.
No, you know where they exist? They
Where?
exist in every single thrift store's dollar bin.
And I owned a thrift store, and I've seen this. This is absolutely true. She's 100% right. There's Metallica's Black Album. There's Jim Reeves albums, all like crazy. And then there's the occasional Bread album, because I remember the swirly Bread font.
And probably the best of bread.
Best of Bread.
Again, that's 2 songs.
To me, that's croissants and sourdough, but you know.
Well done.
Depends. Does a cruller count as bread?
I would say so.
I love a cruller.
Donut, sure.
If Bread reunited in the 2000s, could they have opened for Cake?
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you. I was
why do I like the name Cake for a band, but not Bread?
because Cake doesn't suck.
That-
Cake's a shit band name though too.
Bread is awesome. Like, you get a good sourdough bread bowl, that's fantastic. Or a nice Russian rye, nice and dark. That's
Right,
great.
but it's all about what's in between, right? I mean, like when
I'll take a Russian rye with butter. I'm happy.
well, when KFC put out that double down thing, when it was 2 breaded chicken things as the bread, it's like, and a lot of people, a lot of these health conscious people, like, this is disgusting. My first thought was, why the fuck didn't I think of that?
I had that. I tried it, and there was a lot of self-loathing afterwards.
Yeah, I'm sure that's not the first time you've had a lot of self-loathing after an activity.
No, not even close.
Or self-love.
No, there have been days where you just sit in the shower crying game style and go, why?
Wow. There's a movie that you couldn't really do right now.
No.
No.
No. Or at least you could, but it would have to have a totally different sort of point to it.
It would have to be more of a boy meets trans woman.
Sorry.
Where the fucker did this show go off the rails? I mean, I knew it would, but
The moment you invited Brad, this show went off the rails.
It's not my fault. I'm just
yeah, Andrea, because you and I do such a great job keeping everything together.
I'm not bad. I'm just drawn this way.
The thing is, there's not a whole lot to talk about with bread.
No,
not
there's
a
really
song.
not.
I mean, I could talk about yeast rolls all day, but
There's a joke here. I just don't
type
want
of
to go there.
fun.
Yeah. All right. So any final thoughts on, I mean, I think Brad, I think you actually sort of like hit it really why this sort of like topped. It was just great escapism for what was going around at the time.
Yeah.
It was soothing. Andrea, to your point, technically it was good.
It's plain vanilla ice cream, nothing else. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not slagging on the band, because they're talented, and I don't want to come off as sourdough.
I do not agree that this is a good band, but I will.
Well, I think they're technically good.
Technically, they're good. The vocals are on point. The instruments are all there. They're on point. But it is, if you had a really good vanilla ice cream, that's exactly what this is. It's good. It tastes all right. There's nothing objectively wrong with it.
Like
It's
bread
just
itself.
vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, this is the Wonder Bread of music,
It really is.
which is
really
fine.
But Wonder Bread would have been a better band name.
It's
The
true.
bread truck would have been a better name. Like why not? I mean, like there's stupid band names exist. I brought up just band names named after food. No, because some of these are actually pretty awful, and some are not too bad. They sort of stretched a bit. One we've talked about before, the Black Eyed Peas.
Mhm.
What about 50cc?
What?
That's not food, Brad.
It's food.
10cc, you said?
10cc, that's the one, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, it can be food.
It should be food.
I've never got anyone to agree to that, but okay.
How much of it have you eaten?
What?
Who are you asking?
Either. If you're saying it's food,
Not me.
Enough to know that I don't have a taste for it.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. All right.
okay, what are some other food band names?
Yeah. Salt and pepper.
Let's talk about sex, baby.
Baby,
Let's talk about you and me.
Now push it. Now that one, if you didn't know that was about sex.
Not a hidden sex song.
And I knew that was about sex.
Yeah. Smashing Pumpkins. Red Hot Chili Peppers. Actually, we have chilies that grow here. When I pick it, I say I'm the Red Hot Chili picker. Oh, no? Okay. Well, my wife likes it.
Wow.
It's the only band that my wife and I actually like together.
Have you not introduced her to cake?
Hmm?
Cake.
No, she doesn't like yeah, cake. I already thought, well, I
No,
passed
have you not introduced your wife to cake?
Oh, I have, but I mean, it's too much carbs.
Wah, wah.
I mean, they're not all gems. God, I say that every episode. I mean, this is Meatloaf,
Mhm.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
the Cranberries, the Raspberries. Some of these, they're way off here. I mean, like they say Tony Basil, like that's not a band. That's her name.
No, that's just actually her name.
Yeah. The Flying Burrito Brothers,
Oh man.
Blind Melon. This okay. Then this goes off the rails. Chuck Berry, like fuck off.
Again, it's a name. You can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like still, like basically, there's. I don't know. I just thought cake. I thought that was sort of interesting. All right. So with that, I think this one's closed. Andrew, what do you got for me next week?
I decided to pull out one that I've had just waiting in the wings for a while.
Not Wind Beneath My Wings, is it?
Oh God, I hate that song so hard.
So do I.
If you were to travel to Northern Africa, you may need to learn how to walk like an Egyptian.
I knew this was coming up.
One of us was gonna pick it.
Oh, I love the Bangles, but not this song.
Oh,
Yeah,
Suzanne
right.
Hoffs. Oh, that woman.
Oh yes.
Even
Actually,
at her age now, I saw a picture of her recently. She could still take up some space in and around me.
I'm well. Hopefully, your name's on her laminated card of people that she.
I hope so. I
All right.
really
So
do.
okay, I'm gonna do my impression here. Susanna Hoffs. See, I was doing the eyes back. Thank you. Or for those listening, it
When
was.
you flipped your hat backwards like that and got
Oh
real
no, because
close to the
I
screen-
want people to see that.
No, you got real close to the screen. I just thought Kid Rock.
Ba what's a ba ba dang a dang, dicky big tub, look badadale.
That's
Yeah.
exactly the lyrics you got there.
Something like
Bob
that.
with the bob a dang a
Sounds
dang
like
diggy
Kid Rock
diggy
who had
diggy.
Kid Rock had a stroke.
What?
Kid Rock and Axl Rose both look like grandmas now.
No, I was saying what you
Oh,
said.
well-
It sounded like Kid Rock had a stroke.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Kid Rock had a stroke. Kid Rock looks like Kid Rock. He doesn't look any different than what he did before.
No, they both look like grandmas.
Yeah.
Like scared and
He
confused
kind of looked
dementia
like a
word
scary
grandmas.
grandma before.
I don't think Kid Rock looks all that different from what he used to. I think we need to do an intervention for Steve Tyler.
Oh,
Well,
and
he
Steven
definitely
Tyler.
looks like
Dude
Another
does
one.
look like a lady. What the
He looks like an
fuck
old
happened to
lady.
him? Jesus Christ. All right. Well, with that, if we haven't offended you, please come back. And if you're a fan of Pantera and Pitbull, which apparently Andrea drives those, that's what my webmaster says. Like I don't know. I don't know. We've never talked about either of those bands, and we won't. Will we?
I don't think Pitbull had a number one, but I'm not ready for that.
Did he?
I think so.
Yeah,
I
we're
don't
not
think
even sure.
Pantera ever charted high though.
I don't think
did they?
Pantera definitely didn't have a number one.
Yeah, Pitbull.
I don't know about Pitbull.
Yeah. And why we're saying that, according to our webmaster, people who like Pitbull and Pantera like this show.
And you used to have one Helen Reddy fan.
We never had one Helen Reddy fan. We had one Helen Reddy fan. Well, we had one a Helen Reddy fan watched our show and hated us. And hates you too, because you had a flame war there going on, Brad. But
I'm not a fan of U2. I'm a fan of U2 when they were protest rock, and as soon as they became pop rock, done. When Bono's ego exceeded his IQ.
what do you think that year would have been? 1980?
Yeah, it would have been early 90s, I think. No, not even. It might have been 88, 89.
It would have been that, but I just love Octung Baby, that album, so much.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it a pass.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, this again is going somewhere else. Come back again if you want. Or don't. All good. Stay safe, everybody.
We always like hate mail.
Oh, hate mail's good.
Oh, I'm sure we'll get some more of that.
With all the love that Brett got on the comments and people talking about how warmly they think of it and what have you, unless these people only have sex missionary style slowly, there'll be some hateful comments.
All right, okay, let's just keep this going. For me, it's reverse cowgirl because I don't have to do a damn thing.
But even that is more exciting than bread.
I'm just being selfish. I can just, there's a TV, I can just do a bunch of other stuff, and
I think we should start a petition to rename basic slow missionary as bread position.
Oh,
ooh,
bread boning.
Bread boning. Kneading the dough.
Kneading the dough. Nice.
I've just released the yeast. Anyway. Now I'm going to close because I'm not going to be funnier than that. Stay safe, everybody.
Well done.
Bye.